Welcome to Take Another Look, a current events and public affairs program bringing you news and valuable information you can use. In 2016, the organization Illinois Action for Children greatly expanded its direct service early care and education offerings through the opening of Head Start learning centers in several of Chicago's south suburbs, Harvey, Chicago Heights, and Ford Heights. We're pleased to announce the opening of a fourth center at a new and modern building right here in Dalton. The Illinois Action for Children provides resources for children with disabilities, homeless families, dual language learners, as well as families headed by teen parents. The need is great, and organizational resources and help are available, which brings us to our guest. Bryan Stokes is the Vice President of Early Learning Programs at Illinois Action for Children. He is responsible for the development of the agency's early learning programs and strengthening community systems in the Cook County suburbs. Mr. Stokes provides strategic leadership and support for quality improvement activities for early learning and child care programs. Mr. Stokes, welcome to Take Another Look.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Glad you can take some time out of your schedule to be with us today and tell us a little bit about this wonderful program that is expanding here in Dalton.
Absolutely.
The Dolton Park District, you've been working to open up a center there that's going to be going live, or is it actually in operation presently?
It is open. So we opened in early February. And we're continuing to enroll students and to provide programming.
Mm-hmm. Now, tell us a little bit about the organization, Illinois Action for Children. Of course, we may have heard of them. I spoke briefly about what they have to offer, but tell us a little bit more in detail about what you all do.
Absolutely. So we were founded in 1969, really as advocates for the early childhood systems, advocates for high quality, affordable childcare for families. And since that time, the agency has grown and really focuses in three areas. One, policy advocacy. We really support policies and funding decisions that benefit children and families across Illinois. Second, we are the child care resource and referral agency. So many families may know of us as the processor of child care payments and of determining eligibility for child care and really supporting families in accessing child care. But providers also know about us as providing a lot of training and support so that they can offer high quality services to children. And that's across Cook County. And then our third bucket, our work in the south and west suburbs, is directly providing early education services. And so, as you mentioned, we have our four centers in Chicago Heights, Ford Heights, Harvey, and Dalton. But we also support a number of high quality private early childhood centers with state funding and high quality teachers, high quality curriculum, as well as home visiting that targets pregnant women and families of children under the age of 3, and really supports families as their child's first teacher.
So is this program, are they more preventative, educational, or is it kind of more once you're in the situation, here are resources available?
I see it as both. And so you mentioned our priority populations of families experiencing homelessness, families that are in poverty. We see our work really as supporting children by supporting families. Our mission statement is really all about building strong families and powerful communities where children matter most. And so, we really look to work with the whole family, not just the child, but also the child. And so we see our work in the classroom as being preventative, helping children reach a trajectory towards school success and later success in life. But we're also working with families. So we're working with families, if a family is homeless or if a family is unemployed or whatever the situation is, we want to make sure that we're able to help them access resources to overcome those barriers and really build a better life.
So many people who are involved in working with families and children and teenage mothers, they're passionate. We spoke earlier about your involvement. How did you get involved in this area of actually, providing social services and providing resources for those who are in need?
Absolutely. So I would say accidentally. After graduate school, joined Teach for America, and initially thought that I would be teaching, elementary school, first, second grade, something like that. And they were launching their first early childhood program in Chicago. And so I was able to be a part of that and really learn as the organization was learning as well. And so I've stayed in sort of the early learning social services field since then. I worked for a nonprofit in Chicago called Gads Hill Center and had a great time really being able to build and support services for families in West and Southwest Chicago. And I came to Illinois Action for Children about 3 months ago, and I'm really excited to continue that work as well here.
Now, of course, we all know about the budgetary impasse down in Springfield. Many programs, service programs across Chicago and the south suburbs, they're actually being strangled for funding. They're starving right now for funding. They're having problems. How has the Illinois Action for Children group been able to continue functioning and making things happen? What creative means have you explored to continue to be able to serve these families, even during a time of really tightening the belt fiscally for many of these grants and things like that? They used to pay these individuals who would do these services.
Absolutely.
Provide the services.
Right. So I would say, first and foremost, as advocates, a lot of our work is around supporting legislators and really encouraging legislators and our representatives in Springfield to make funding decisions and policy decisions that benefit children and families. And so the budget impasse does not, it definitely has a very negative impact on the lives of families and on the ability of many organizations to provide services. Our funding for our direct early childhood programs that we talked about today is a mix of federal Head Start funds and state funding in the Early Childhood Block Grant, which thankfully have not been a part of the impasse so far. However, the supportive services that our families rely on, in terms of referrals to job training or referrals to housing services, mental health, those have all been deeply impacted. And so we see the results of that devastation in our ability to really help connect families to resources. And so you're right, we have had to be creative. We've really worked to try to build collaborative partnerships with organizations that still have resources or can benefit in some way from us. We look to find ways in which we can be a resource and share what we have in terms of space, or how can we align our work around recruitment and outreach. I think we all in this environment as social service agencies, as people who care about the lives of children and families, need to both continue to advocate but also find ways of getting the work done.
Now, how was it determined that your new facility in the south suburbs would be here in Dalton?
So it was a great partnership opportunity. The Dolton Park District received a state construction grant specifically to build an early childhood facility. And so I believe about a year ago or so, as the Park District was completing that process, they approached us about really partnering to provide a high quality program in that facility. And it is a beautiful facility. The Park District did an amazing job at constructing an energy efficient, really child-centered building. And so I think that partnership grew from there, from our capacity and history as an operator of early childhood programs, but also the Park District's knowledge of our work and just their really goal of providing high quality services.
Okay. So is this a referral process, or how does an individual who wants to see about your services, how would they get in touch with the organization in order to find out what's available?
Absolutely. There are, I'd say, three great ways. One, families are welcome to drop by during our operating hours. We're open currently from 8:30 to 4:30 at 729 Ingle Street in Dolton. So families are welcome to stop by, have a tour, see the facility, meet our staff, and really see what a great program it is. Families can also contact us by phone. So our phone number is 708-365-1500. And so that is our early learning hotline. And so we'll be able to connect families to whatever site best fits their needs. If they're here in Dalton, then we'll connect them to our site in Dalton and get some basic information, get them in for an enrollment. And then we have an email address as well, earlylearning@actforchildren.org. That also goes to the same place, and we can make sure people get to the right place.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Stokes, for taking some time with us and telling our viewers about the programs available through the Illinois Action for Children Network.
Great. Thanks for having me.
And thank you for tuning in to another edition of Take Another Look.